watching CoastLife, and even though we know there's plenty to do all along Delmarva's coast, every now and then you want to spread your wings a little, maybe fly somewhere interesting, or maybe even better, cruising.
Yeah.
So to tell us more, we've got Annette Stellhorn with Accent on Travel, one of our favorite guests to have in the CoastLife studio. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you ladies doing?
Great.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I just got back from a cruise, speaking of which. Yeah.
Where'd you go?
We started out in Italy. That's where my roots are. So I took a couple of the family members back to Abruzzo, which is where my grandparents came to Sussex County in 1904, just a little piece of trivia.
Yeah.
And they had never been back to the old town where the family came from. And then I took a wonderful group of Delawareans on a brand new ship, Oceana's Vista. And we started, and it's really nice. It's about 1,400 people. We like to stay under that. It might even be 1,200, but we like to stay under the 2,000 mark without question.
I'm getting FOMO.
Every time Annette comes in, and every time I talk with you, I get the travel bug so bad.
Well, you know, it's not really where you go, it's how you go. Like we were talking offline before, you know, there are places in Greece that are super beautiful and romantic and casual and not on the beaten path, even though that you know those words are used a lot. And when you use a travel professional like we have at Accent on Travel, we have a romance, Condé Nast Travel, top world specialist for romance, and she does Greece. She was there for 3 weeks this year, looking at new properties, looking at new islands, looking at new ideas for all of our Accent on Travel clients. You know, that's different than you take the standard 4,000 passengers stopping for a t-shirt stop, 3 hours you have in Mykonos, get your shirt, get off. And in fact, those cruise lines now actually have shopping at the port because they know the port calls are so short, that's all you can do. It's get souvenirs for the grandchildren, or get your t-shirt, or get your little magnet, and then you're gone. So it's really how you vacation that's going to bring you those wonderful memories, and not where you go, right? It's like going to Rehoboth Beach in a bus for the day, hitting the outlets and going around the avenue, versus spending the day with friends that live in Rehoboth and understand what's happening. And
great point.
It really is. And I think using a travel professional is kind of like trying to cut your own hair. Like, you can do it, and you might be happily surprised with the results at some point. Like, this is so cool. We found Pompeii. Well, guess what? You know, there's different ways of doing Pompeii. There's like 30 different ways of doing some of these things. And if you use a professional, highly trained, you know, travel professional, you're going to change. So back to cruising, Accent on Travel handles probably 50 different cruise lines, and of those, some of them have as many as, like Viking has over 30 ships, and you really need to know the ships and what season to go and what cabins are good and all of that. But I personally like small ship cruising. My husband loves river cruising. I'm more of a small ship with large staterooms. I want that private balcony so I could sit on the veranda and have breakfast or watch the sunset with cocktails. So my up and coming trip is on Explore Journeys. We're going to celebrate our 35th anniversary of Accent on Travel, which is very cool. I know. Little girl grew up on the farm,
Oh my God,
selling Christmas trees and watermelons, and now 35 years we've done, I've been to 135 countries, and some of them over 30 times. So it was a family that was passionate about travel, obviously, or my grandfather would not have come. Right, he had to cross the Atlantic with $40 and at 19 and come to start a new life. Can you imagine?
No, I know.
Right? So yeah, we're very passionate about travel. All of our team is. But you know, knowing what experience you want is the best way to come to a travel professional and talk about cruising. And you know, for $5,000, people could hang a sign out and say, I'm a cruise professional, I'm a cruise agent or something. And it's kind of like using your neighbor. They're gonna, you know, book it for you, but with us, we track it. If the itinerary changes, we have software to track the itinerary changes. If the prices change, we're gonna add custom shore excursions if you like, custom pre, custom post, so you can spend a couple days in Rome and get that Vatican experience, or go to Cappadocia and do hot air ballooning. We know all of that, and we have all the contacts, right? So whether it's us or another highly trained, that's what you want to look for, to kind of be your guide, but also manage the trip all the way through travel. So if something does occur, you're not on your own trying to figure it out, or getting online and trying to figure out, do we book this Airbnb with this company, or how are we handling this private tour, which is pretty cool. But there are a lot of great new ships out there. Explorer Journeys is MSC's cargo and MSC Cruise Line's newest cruise line, and it's all luxury. So on the luxury line, we have Regent Seven Seas Cruises, which we just did the Greek Isles last September as well on Regent, and so it was my second time back within a year. And Regent is a fabulous product that we sell. Again, small ships, all inclusive, wonderful. Viking Ocean does a great job, Oceana Cruises, and then if you like the bigger ships, we always recommend Celebrity Cruises, does a great job. And then NCL has solo cabins, which are really cool for people that need that. And then we still sell the Cunard Transatlantic for people that don't want to fly, right?
Yeah.
So we take them up to New York by private transfer, cross the Atlantic, do whatever cruising or sightseeing they want, and then they take the ship back across the Atlantic. So they never get on an airplane. And let me tell you, you arrive in London like you are the queen.
Ooh.
It is fabulous because you have 6 days to do spa treatments and sleep in and go to the gym and go to the library, and there's a lecture series, high tea every day.
Oh my gosh.
It's wonderful. In fact, one of our best tricks is to fly somebody over business class and then them cruise back, or vice versa. Cruise over, fly back business class, and the one way is typically less than a business class one-way ticket.
So you think for them so they don't have to do any thinking.
Yes, no
Beautiful.
thinking,
Well,
no
we
planning.
ask a ton of questions, right? And then we just nail it.
Perfect.
We just nail
So
it.
Annette and her team at Axon on Travel, no matter your travel experience, they've got you covered, and get cruising.
Come on.
But don't go cruising anywhere just yet, because there's more Coast Life. We'll be right back.